Right, let's see how this works. This is the first time. This is the first time I've actually used this overhead camera thing. So if it's a disaster, I'll know after I've done this video. Alright, here, I was going to show you first of all my little Irish leprechauns. Alright, I've got two made. I'm actually on a third one at the minute with a tartan waistcoat, but what I thought I would show you today and see if this works for this overhead camera is how to make the little buckles, okay? So the little buckles, can you see that? Right, the little buckles, if I was going to make those little buckles and I follow the pattern and it said cast on 12, cast on, cast off 12, you end up with quite a thick, whereas I quite like to have them nice and thin. So I'm going to show you how I achieve that. So I'm going to get first of all a length of my yarn, okay? So I'm going to use this yellow. I thread it onto my needle first. That's the first bit. So I thread it on one end of my needle, okay? Then the other end, okay? So for that size of buckle, it's just about perfect if I use my forefinger. So I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've wrapped my forefinger, I've got my needle and I've got my yarn, okay, and I'm going to, your finger's perfect for this. You can actually do it if you wanted smaller ones, you know, you can use straws or you can use pens, any sort of fine tube, or if you wanted bigger ones you could use a bigger tube. But I find that the finger is actually the best because there's a wee bit of give in your finger and you can get your needle in the back of it. Okay, so that's the first step. You put your needle through and you bring it through, all right, and you leave a loop, okay, and you put your needle through that loop, okay, and you pull it tight, and it'll form a sort of a hard edge. You keep doing that. You put your needle through. You put your needle through. You put your needle through the loop, and you pull it tight. And this is the way you work the whole way round this. They work the whole way round in the same fashion. Put the needle through, pull it tight. Put the needle through, and you pull it tight, okay? Now, once you get 3 or 4 done, right, you could actually take it off your finger if you find that easier, right, and just hold it, you know, in your finger and thumb. You might find that easier. So then you're going to put your needle through, oops, and always put it through the loop and pull it. And what happens is you can see that a hard edge, don't know how well you can see that, but there's a hard edge starts forming, and you work your whole way around your loop, okay? It's exactly the same way as when I was doing dressmaking, you made a button loop, you know, and you know, it's exactly the same process. So it's only that you're forming it round in a circle, and you just keep going. Okay, so the whole way around, needle through and through the loop, needle through and through the loop, okay? So once you get the whole way around, okay, I'll leave this down for a bit, okay? So once you get the whole way around, you'll see that this is the end result. And I don't cut off my yarn when I get the whole way around a bit. You'll have a good wee bit left over there. I use it to stitch it onto things. So you can use this, I use it for shoe buckles. I also use it for buckles, you know, on the front of a doll. You know, like a belt buckle. I can use it for if I was making my, you know, my Winifred, and she had earrings, so I can use it for earrings for a gypsy, or so many uses, and it's a very, very handy wee trick to learn. It makes your dolls look much more professional, less homemade. So that sounds a bit, because they are homemade, but you want your dolls to look as professional as you can, and this is just one wee tip that I do, I've discovered over years of doing, okay, to make the doll a little bit more polished looking. So you can make big ones, you can make small ones, it doesn't matter what size. I find for the shoe buckle size, and probably for the belt buckle size and this size of doll, I find that this is probably the perfect size. So there you go, there's it made. All right, I'm not going to snip it off, I'm going to snip off that wee tail at the beginning, okay? So there's my loop that I'm going to use for my shoe buckle. It's still attached to my yarn, okay? I'm going to use this yarn and this needle to stitch it onto the shoe, okay, so that you're not having to join yarn again. So there you are, that's a stitched buckle, or a stitched hoop, or a stitched loop. It's actually quite nice. You can make several of them and make a whole decoration, couldn't you? Anyway, there you go. I hope this helps. I don't know, I'm actually don't know whether it's actually working on the video, but I'll see when it's finished, okay? Bye, thank you.